Sup guys, welcome back to Remax episode 33. We're here today to talk, this is part 2 by the way, we're here today to talk about Legacy of the Void beta preview list of change. So Blizzard announced the release date of the beta, which is March 31. By the way, for next week, Remax is not going to be on Tuesday. We're not sure if it's going to be on Sunday or Monday yet, but we'll let you know as soon as we know. And let's go. What?
Because it's the beta's being released.
Yeah, because it's beta day.
Yeah, it's beta day.
We're gonna be playing beta all day.
So like the Tuesday of Remax, it's just Tuesday's gonna be crazy. Everyone wants to stream, and so we're gonna let you guys watch Legacy of the Void instead of watching us. But yeah, let's talk about the general changes, worker count.
No. There's nothing different about the worker account. We talk about the new shit, the Viper ability, the Adept.
Yeah, the unit scan range so that Marines can't kite Stalkers as well anymore. Did you see that?
Wait, what?
Like the unit scan...
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Nathanias.
You know the thing that Jack Attack released?
You can explain it, Nathanias.
There's a key difference. So basically, the way that the AI works, when you attack move something, the units have like a scan radius of like a certain range that is it defaulted to 5. Obviously, in case you guys didn't know, there are units with more than 5 range in the game, like Stalkers. So a Stalker would scan for 5 range, and if it didn't hit the Marine while it was in that scanning phase, it would take another step forward until the Marine was within scanning range. So basically, unless you target fired Marines, a Stalker would step forward and potentially get hit by it. Same thing for Widow Mines. Like it never happened.
So I can A move against Widow Mines now.
You can, if you have an observer, you can A move against Widow Mines, and you'll never step within 5 range.
Oh, nice.
And I'd like to point out that according to the video, at least what I saw, this is only a change that's being made to affect ground units, which is very important because I think that, being able to punish people who let their mutas or their Viking, I guess it doesn't matter for mutas, so people that let their Vikings slip a little bit too far, or oracles, stuff like. No, I don't think it affects oracles either.
But
it only affects units that have.
Still.
It only affects units with range greater than their scanning range. So like the default scanning range for all units is 5. So this actually, that's a oracle acceleration thing that makes them fly into turrets. But it's only affecting ground units anyway. So the only units that this actually matters with are, I guess, tanks move really slow, so it never really bothered them. But pretty much just Stalkers was like the #1 complaint.
And they're also changing the game speed to altered to be real time. So there's a lot of things that are going to be changed, like 5.
Whoa, the game speed? You mean the game timer?
Yeah. So
there's a big difference between game speed and game timer.
Yeah, no, but to match real time. The game.
Yeah, but when you say game speed, that makes it seem like the game's getting faster or slower or something.
No. But when you look at like attack speeds and cooldowns and everything, those like values are going to be changed to match real time. So everything has the same value. It's just going to be like translated or converted.
Okay. Some numbers might get rounded, I heard. So like things could change very, very tiny bits.
Okay. So those are like the little changes for like in general. Now the first new unit, I don't think there's a second one, but the new unit they've added is the Adept. The video that goes with it is really weird. MC was really excited on Twitter. I saw that on Reddit. HuK, what was your thoughts on the...
Are you fucking kidding me, mate, right now?
What, I'm quoting MC? Isn't he...
I literally wrote, I love the Adept, like 12 hours before MC wrote it. So I literally wrote that tweet, and then MC wrote the exact same tweet 12 hours later. And then you say, yeah, I saw MC wrote that on Twitter. HuK, what were your thoughts about the Adept? I wrote the same shit, mate. 12 hours before MC did.
Be angry at Reddit, not at me, man.
desRow doesn't follow you on Twitter, HuK.
Apparently, he's got me fucking on ignore or something.
Rip.
Why are you so mad?
I'm not so mad, sorry.
Yo, that video of the closed beta got 270,000 views on YouTube, man. The hype is real. We're alive.
I think
because
it comes.
People that don't like esports would watch that.
I heard that it might have splash damage, the Adept. Is that true? Been confirmed at all or no?
I don't I didn't hear.
Unless you can see it in that video, I haven't heard anything about it.
Well, if it isn't, then it basically comes down to how strong it is. You know, if it's like two-shotting or three-shotting workers, then I think it's going to be a really cool unit. But if it's like if it's going to take like 7 hits to kill an SCV, then it seems like it's going to be pretty fucking useless. So it comes down to the values of the unit more than anything else.
Do you think the unit's cool? It didn't look so fun to me.
It looks okay. I'm more excited for the Disruptor than anything else.
Really? I thought we said the Disruptor was boring.
Nah, it's good.
But it's overlapping with the Colossus. Did you notice how they made it a lot more pretty?
Well, obviously.
Are you talking? Yeah, okay. Anyway. But yeah, so basically, the Adept is new. That's all that's really new until the Viper change, which I will find right now for the stream to watch. Kane, what did you think of the Viper change?
I think it looks really cool. I'm excited that the Viper's not going to be... Like, it had its very niche use in Heart of the Swarm, but it was pretty easily countered by High Templar and stuff like that. So I'm really excited that it'll have a different use now. I'm looking forward to maybe some cool new strategies that we might see. Of course, that comes with all the new units in Legacy, but yeah, I'm especially excited for the Viper. I think that it'll be really cool to have another... It's anti-air, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, another like anti-air unit kind of.
Yeah.
Because Zerg, I think, does need some help in that area.
Well, I think the coolest thing, to me at least, is that we won't see people like mass air units, you know. There will be more variety in the unit composition because mass air unit won't be so viable all the time.
I hope so, yeah. I hope that's what happens. I'm not sure that it will, but I think that might be their intention, and I hope that does what... I think, and I hope that is what comes of it.
What about you, Nathanias? Are you afraid of the Viper ability?
No, it seems cool. The thing is, this is an ability that will be reserved for really, really weird games that go on crazy long, because I'm still very confident that the changes made in Legacy of the Void are going to keep us from seeing the oh-so-often max-out versus max-out, slow bullshit, whatever, that we see right now. I'm very, very confident that all of this stuff will be abusable enough that at the highest level, like, if you reach that point, it's going to be a really long, epic game. And if you got, like, a giant fucking cloud of Ravens and Vikings or Mutalisks or something, then you have, like, a dozen or, like, 7 or 8 bases to support it. And, like, it's not going to come down to, oh, all your Mutas are in one spot trying to fight and, like, these Vipers are here. Like, no. Like, I think it sounds like a cool ability as much as anything else. It makes them a little bit more interesting, I guess, because it gives Zerg a better answer, like, that they were looking for. And it might also mean that we can get Spore Crawlers fixed. They won't be, like, really stupid in ZVZ anymore. So it's like, if you end up dealing with mass muta, like, Vipers are, like, something that can kind of help. I don't know.
Yeah, those were basically the biggest change from this this patch log. Everything else has been announced beforehand, and we've talked a lot about it on the show. So maybe closing statement, HuK, anything else to add?
Are we going to move on to the Terran unit?
Well, the Cyclone, there's nothing new with the Terran units.
No, that they're opening it up to a new Terran unit in the prospect.
Oh yeah, and there's like plenty of people, including a Velo, that are like working on designing something and then giving like concepts and everything. Yeah, I think that's cool.
I think I just thought of this, but I think it'd be cool because people seem to be mostly complaining about like the lack of anti-air in mech. Like, basically, Marines are great at anti-air, but they want something mechy. So maybe make, like, some kind of mobile anti-air turret-like unit, but you have to set it up. But you have to set it up. So, like, let's say it's, like, a tank, but it only fires when it's sieged. So you can move it with your army, but you have to control it, obviously, and then you have to, like, set it up, and there's, like, a certain amount of time that you have to set it up, and then... de-set it up and then move it, and etc., etc.
Isn't that like the Thor? Because the Thor is pretty slow.
But it's different because people say the Thor's too weak. Like, the Thor has good AoE, but it's not good enough against, like, Magic Box. So maybe just get, like, a non-splash good anti-air mech unit that will scale well with mech upgrades and that you actually have to, like, micro and set up.
So, like a Goliath.
Goliath.
What?
Goliath?
Yes, Goliath. Kinda, but a Goliath you never had to set up. You just moved it around the map. I mean, a Goliath would be fine too if they just decided to bring back the Goliath.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Nathanias? Have you had good dreams about?
Well, the only thing that when I think about Terran and I think about the way that you play Terran, unless we're talking about TVT as it is right now in Heart of the Swarm, it's a lot about like pushing down the map and rallying. And there's two things that are, I think, there are two holes that can be filled with this. But I don't know if they're. Yeah. have your moment.
And then Nathanias is just like, my dick and my dick.
I'm not exactly sure how that works, but so if you're a Terran, like I think about TVZ right now, like it's all about rallying to a point where you're putting pressure on a base, right? And now Zerg's gonna have maybe like lurkers defending that shit or Ravagers like pushing you away. So you either need something that's gonna allow you to set up forward positions, which you could, in theory, could use in any matchup. Some sort of mobile, not static defense, but like some people have suggested like some sort of like shield type unit or some other form of like forward support unit. I like the idea of being able to like build, some sort of static defense that hits ground, even if it's very weak, but to like micro around, like, if you have like a position set up off creep and you want to build like some perdition turrets and like split your Marines around them or something, like I think that sounds cool, but something in that area basically. It doesn't have to be specifically that. And the other thing is Terran is the race that's when you have like a big maxed out army, you're like pretty much the least. And like I said, this is a situation that hopefully isn't going to be reached all that often, but you're the most vulnerable to big attacks in your base. Like the first thing that comes to mind is you're like maxed out, you fuck up, and the Protoss gets like a warp prism in your base, and they like warp in like 13 zealots, but you're maxed, and your whole army is like across the fucking map. Right, and like you built a bunch of missile turrets, and the warp prism's dead, but you got like 10 zealots. You have to run all the way back, and then the Protoss comes, kills your fourth base. You want to kill yourself. So like something that you could leave. Like I basically want either some sort of supply-free static defense, like Protoss and Zerg have, that you can spam in like a situation where you're holding down a forward position, and maybe it's not as much static defense as it is some sort of meat shield, or something that can help you in that. Because like Protoss, if someone tries to force some like dumb base trade or whatever, you have like recall. Like if you let your mothership core get sniped or something happens. In Zerg, your units move fast enough that you're never worried about some guy just like dropping 8 medevacs inside of your base, which something in TVT, it's not something that I enjoy. Whether or not it's my skill or not. But that's like for Terran, that's what I want. I don't think of like some new unit that like kills shit. I really don't care about that. I think, we have a lot of good shit that kills things pretty easily, and I think the Cyclone is getting close to what I want because you can kind of poke from afar with it, but I don't know. Like that's all I want. Something that's like a forward static defense of some kind that doesn't take 150 seconds to build and cost 600 minerals and 150 gas. Like something other than a PF that I could bring out with my fucking army. Because all Terran is rallying across the map anyway, most of the time. So
what about a bunker?
Yeah. I mean, bunkers are shit, and they take supply, so it's very counterintuitive. A bunker doesn't increase the strength.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you have to put 4. You have to put 4 Marines. If I want to leave, it's like, well, first of all, a bunker's not going to stop like a zealot warping in my base. So I'm going to need like what, 2 or 3. So I want to get in like or widow mines. Well, that also costs supply. So there's no situation where I get to, be a Zerg and drop like 10 spines that don't cost any supply while I still have a maxed out army to work with,
So it's the supply part that's an issue.
Yeah, unless it's something that's super mobile, then it's like, okay, maybe you have some sort of like, I don't know, like something that has a lot more health and is melee and just kind of you purposely put up front that like blocks shit. But outside of that's like something I'm not entirely sure how you would do. But bunkers are, they're pretty much shit, and they take forever to build, and you can't really move them around. So I don't think I don't know. That's. I mean,
I think bunkers are good. Besides the part that they take supply, I could see that how that could be a problem.
Yeah, that's my issue on the defensive side. Like aggressively using bunkers, sure, but they also like they take a lot. Maybe if they took 30 seconds to build like they used to, but obviously I don't fucking 2-racks people. I don't think about it like that. Like for cheese, I totally understand. Like the bunker shit's dumb, But if it was easier to build a bunker past, I don't know, 10 minutes of the game where like you're actually using salvage and shit, then I'm okay with that. But that's, you know, then it's gonna break like the beginning of the game, or maybe it won't because you start with so much more supply. Maybe it's not an issue. I don't know.
Very good points.
But that's like
man.
the kind of stuff I think about.
Yeah, very good points. Maybe you live so close to their studios. You should go, man. You should be the one that speaks for us.
Go in there, guns blazing, and just tell them what you want, Nathanias.
Pretty sure that's how you get arrested,
either that,
Kane.
Either that, or they drop the supply depot build time to 25 seconds like overlords and pylons.
What is it right now? What is it right now? 30?
It's I'm just fucking with you. It's 30 seconds.
Oh. Well.
But we have supply drop, so that's the counter argument.
Yeah, fuck you. Thank you. Anything else in the patch notes, HuK, do you want to talk about? I don't think anything else was changed.
No, I think we're good to go.
All right. Well, last but not least, the ladder map pool for season 2, Inferno Pools, is staying. The removals are Overgrowth, Catalina, Deadwing, Secret Spring. Those are the removals. The additions are Coda, Echo LE, which is fucking beautiful, Cactus Valley, which I don't think I've played, and Iron,
really big.
Iron Fortress with a Zerg logo in the middle. And so yeah, the maps that are staying: Expedition Lost, Vanny Research Station, 2 really good maps, and Inferno Pools.
The biggest thing everybody's gonna say is the Inferno Pool should have been taken out. To be honest, like I would have rather had Inferno Pools removed and like one of the even still maps that got removed like still stay in there. Whether it be like Deadwing or Catalina or whatever, that's fine. But Inferno Pools is just like the worst map in the last pool and now in this pool, and it's something that I'm pretty sure almost everybody agreed on. So that's the biggest what the fuck. But as far as like new maps go, great. I welcome it with open arms. I think anybody is happy just to see change, and it's fun to play on something new more than like what race benefits the most from it. It's just fun and exciting to play on something new.
Yeah.
What about you, Kane? Inferno Pools, you must love it. ZVT cross map.
Yeah, I've like never played it. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I think one of the first times I played it was in WCS versus Happy. So yeah, I don't play that map. I veto it on ladder, and it's a waste of my time. But from what I've heard, they are still open to the idea of taking it out. I think that they were planning on waiting a little longer, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to come out. At least that's what I've heard from my insider information. But they just haven't decided on like a map to replace it with yet. I think that was the issue or something like that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to stay in for next season.
You don't? You think it's not too late to make a change?
No, I think they will make a change. I think it's coming.
What about you, Nathanias? Someone who's also well.
What'd you say, Kate?
What?
What?
I said that. What?
What?
I don't get it.
What's going on?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Chris, why don't you?
I wrote it in chat.
Oh, but I can't read that chat.
God damn it.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? This
That's
guy.
what she said.
You need a body pillow. Anyway, Nathanias, what are your thoughts?
I honestly didn't get to watch too much of the whatever like show match tournament, like the Team Liquid map contesting that they had on it after like when the votes were kind of mostly in anyway. But pretty much, I'm glad that they're new maps. I expect the feedback to be better on these maps. The Inferno Pools thing, yeah, everyone's gonna veto it, I guess. Hopefully, they'll remove it and put something else in. Because when there was a big whine to have Overgrowth brought back, you know. The people that could have stood strong against boring maps could have stopped them. stopped them from putting overgrowth back in, but they didn't. So I imagine that they'll cave, hopefully, on this one too, and we won't have Inferno pools next season. Outside of that, the rest of the maps, I'm excited to see what happens on them. And I'll have when people start complaining about them for whatever reason, I'll be the first guy to throw all the pro gamers under the bus that they had like direct access to having these maps changed for like a solid 2 months now. So people were very, very well aware of the potential maps for a very large amount of time prior to them even being announced. So I think if there's complaining, I think this is the part where I would just laugh at the people that whine about maps.
I think it's time to picnic, boys.
desRow, do you have any comments about the new
map
maps?
pool? So here's the thing, right? The formula of keeping 3 maps and only adding four new maps every season is terrible. Not only because the seasons are insanely long, 4 months or three full months is way too long. It's not if like Dota is gonna make the game change so much every 4 months just to fuck with the teams, why can Blizzard not be brave and fuck with us and just change the map so much to always keep us on our toes? So I really don't like that they're keeping this formula, because if they didn't keep this formula, then they could get rid of Inferno pools for another one of the beautiful maps made in the Team Liquid map contest. So I think it's a wasted opportunity by them to not just add another map, because I understand they have to work on team maps for the 2v2s and 3v3 and 4v4 ladders, but it's a shame. And the situation like Deadwing, Catalina, Overgrowth, they're all overplayed. And then do you really switch Inferno pools by Secret Spring? You're stuck in a dead end. And the only way this could have been fixed was by changing the formula of the map rotation. Anyone else has anything to add to this? Hello? Jesus!
Nah, man,
we said our piece, man. We're done.
You good, man? You good?
I'm sorry.
These guys clearly don't want to talk about maps. We need something with more drama in them.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, big thanks to Mo for hosting us for 600 viewers. I told him the good news that he was a part of the SC2Remax Awards. HuK.
But wait. Him and I tied, right?
Yes.
Do we each get $50,
yes.
or is that split?
Oh, no, yes.
Money!
Still safe with that Domino's. Go ham, man. Like extra breadsticks or cinnamon sticks or whatever.
Cheese crust, man. It's all about the cheese crust.
Safe.
Oh, god damn it, that's stupid meme. Anyway, guys, this is the part of the show where I don't have the Reddit thread on the butt. God damn it. This is part of the show where you guys can ask us questions on Reddit and Twitter. Use hashtag SC2Remax on Twitter. Use the Reddit thread right here. And let's get to it. There's a lot of good questions this week. You guys went ham with the hub votes and the comments, so big thanks to everyone. Kane, did you actually spit on the screen when Naniwa won? Or was Stefano making shit up? No Dodgerino.
I wish I would have now. Everybody's like really hyped it up and stuff like that. I almost wish that I could say proudly that yes, I did spit on that screen. But I didn't think that anybody would actually take that seriously when Stefano tweeted it out. But apparently there are a few people that actually believe that I spit on a monitor. Which, looking back on it now, is really, really funny. So yeah, I wish I would have, but I never did.
Okay. That's a disappointing story, man. But
yeah, it is disappointing. That's why I wish I could say.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the staleness of map pools? Some maps have been used over in a year in competitive play, and with Blizzard keeping at least 3 maps per rotation, we will either see the old maps around even longer, or...
We already addressed this.
Okay, fuck this guy then.
You just kind of finished, yeah.
Okay. What are each of your personal goals for Legacy of the Void? Personal goals. Let's start with Kane. What's your personal goal for Legacy of the Void? Do you want to be as good as Scarlet?
I want to have fun and try my best.
And show good games?
And show good games. Please cheer for me.
Alright! What about you, Nathanias? No, I'm just kidding. Kane, come on.
No, I want to continue to do well in WCS, and I think that's probably my main goal. I'll try to spend some time in Korea if I don't go back to school this year. But yeah, I'll try my best to spend some time in like a gaming house there. And yeah, those are my two biggest goals, I think. Because I think that if I do spend time there, it'll really help with my game. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Okay. What about you, Nathanias? Cast a StarCraft 2 tournament, like the finals of a tournament?
I mean, that's gonna happen. Like, it's not like a goal.
Are you sure? The old boys club is strong, man.
No, but well, nah. No, I'm good.
No?
I'm not worried. Trust me.
Are you sure?
Trust me.
Are you okay?
When it comes, I'm not worried about. When I think about Legacy of the Void, I don't think about anything work related. I'm really hoping to take advantage of the shaken up meta and the game changing enough that my my ADHD being all over the place bullshit makes me better, at least for a little bit of time, so I can maybe become decent for a short period. I'd be really happy if I could just find maybe a few months between where I'm not working as much and I can actually maybe get half decent, maybe qualify. Like if I qualify for WCS Challenger at least once, I'd be really happy. That's like my big goal. But I don't think I can do it right now because even players that I might have more potential than have been at it longer than me, and well, I need some sort of advantage. And if that's everybody basically having the rug pulled out from under them, I'll take it.
All right. What about you, Chris?
I mean, obviously, I would like to do well in WCS. Well, next year, maybe, if I play. Until then, just stream a lot, have fun again with StarCraft 2. Not that I'm not having fun now, but like more fun, because the game will be so very different. It'll almost be playing like a completely new game. Other than that, I'm looking forward to maybe casting some events as well, which will be nice. And yeah, I don't know, just do well and have fun, I guess. Almost exactly the same as Kane.
What?
Did you see the dog in the mouth?
Be original, please.
Oh.
No, I didn't see the... What time is it at?
I linked it. It just directly links to the...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You gonna watch it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn it, Chris, come on, man.
What?
We used to have Nathanias that was playing fucking Hearthstone during the show. Now we have you linking shitty videos to our other guests.
It's relevant to the discussion.
No!
Help!
What's
desRow stream, help! We need help.
No. Stop! Alright.
Jesus.
Shut up. Chris. See, this is what happens when you eat too much candy, man. You're a little shit. Shut up. Alright, my turn. My goals for Legacy of the Void. One thing that I really liked back in Wings when we had more players wanting to learn the game. One thing that I really like was helping people by making guides. Now, no one really cares about being good at StarCraft anymore, but with Legacy of the Void coming out, people will be interested in guides, and that's something that I really enjoy doing. Really enjoy helping people. So that's a goal of mine, is to go back to producing a lot of educational content for the Protoss players out there that are struggling to make ends meet on the ladder, trying to get their next promotion, and obviously to do better with my stream. I don't know if I'll do well as a player. I'll try. I mean, I play every day, so I mean it's bound to happen eventually, but it's not like it's not a set goal. Mo, I swear to fucking God, if you type that command one more time, I'm gonna fucking ban you.
Wait, though, desRow, we're helping you out because in 2015, there's going to be the Stream Awards, right? Yes. And we're going to get you most active chat. That's our goal, and we're helping you out with that help command, okay? The more lines you
gotta plan for the long game.
Yeah,
you gotta plan for the long game. In fact, what you should do right now is just get Nightbot, MooBot, every bot that doesn't run in your own PC, and just have them all like set to the minimum delay to spam commands in your chat, because that's the way to do it, apparently, right? So I think that's a really good idea for you. In fact, you could pay me $5.99 a month, and I'll run a bot on my server that will spam chat as often as it can without getting IP blacklisted by Twitch.
If you want help, Winter can help you set up the stuff.
All right.
Oh.
We're gonna have a few Patreon call-ins today, guys. That's what you get for being bad. All right. Let's see how it works. Okay. The overlays might be messed up. Oh, they're majorly fucked up.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So yeah, my question was about the importance of equipment in pro gaming or esports, because often you see these days everything can be esports. Like energy drinks can be esports, and even like internet routers or cables, which is I think not true. So what's important? How important is equipment in esports, or hardware also, PC specs?
Are you asking what's too far as sponsorships go, and like what should be considered a proper esports sponsorship, or are you asking like how important like certain keyboards or mouses etc. are to the actual players?
It's two questions.
Both of those questions.
Both. Yeah, both.
Well, I'm the most sold out person here, so I'm gonna let someone else answer first.
I can answer in terms of like the keyboard and stuff. In terms of keyboards, I find that those are the easiest to get used to, along with headphones. Like, say if you go to a tournament and you lose your keyboard or something like that, it's relatively easy to just pick up another person's keyboard and play decently well, as long as the buttons are the same sizes, which in most cases they will be, unless you're using like a European shift key or something like that, in which case it'll be a lot smaller. But if you're using like a standardized American keyboard, they don't differ a lot from one another. I shouldn't say that because like mechanical keyboards have different switches and stuff like that. So there is some variability in between them, but for the most part, they're pretty okay. Mice, on the other hand, take a lot of getting used to. There's different DPIs and stuff like that, and different sensitivities that you can kind of set on your own PC. You can change the settings and stuff like that. But the entire weight of the mouse and the entire feel of it is going to be different from mouse to mouse. So I find that those are definitely the hardest to get used to. And then, I would say that you need like quite a few games to get used to a new mouse. And then headphones and earphones and stuff, they're all pretty normal. Like, you can change them out, no problem.
Okay, do you think mechanical keyboards are overhyped? Because I know Nanoware doesn't use it on, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're not necessary to win or anything like that. They are easier to type with, they are easier to play with, I find. But it's not like if somebody told me I had to use a normal keyboard, it's not like I'd be crushed by that. It would be a bit inconvenient, and maybe it wouldn't be as easy to play on, but it'd still be okay. It's not necessary to win.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
I think it's more about comfort. It's more about comfort. Like if it comes to stuff like if you like mechanical keyboards and you feel better, if you feel like you play better with one, then it comes down to having like a good mental mindset where you're not thinking to yourself like, oh, this doesn't feel like what I practice with, which I think can throw you off. But I think I would agree with Kane that like switching keyboards is probably on the easier side of the spectrum. But I think a lot of players get attached to things like mice.
Well, there's also ergonomics. Like, I don't think you're gonna have a rubber keyboard without the numpad. A mechanical keyboard will have 10 key less available. So if like you prefer having your mouse closer, like your ends a little bit more inside, having a 10 key less keyboard goes a long way. But yeah, otherwise I agree with Kane. Mouse is the biggest factor. Anything else is like, it's like extras. Like if you're like broke. Make sure you have good frame rate and make sure you have a good mouse. And then you're good to go, Because like Koreans use $10 keyboards for like the longest time, like the QSan.
Too, right?
The QSan DT35, something like that.
Yeah, DT35.
Yeah, I bought it too. It was a great keyboard.
It's the keyboard I used for the first like 2 or 3 years I was playing.
Oh yeah, before like you sold out.
Yep.
Nice.
Basically.
So thank you so much for your question. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Farewell. Right.
I guess we didn't really answer the first part of his question.
What was that?
Well, I can answer the part where do you draw the line as far as sponsorships go. In general, I feel like you don't really draw the line until it becomes something like super unethical or almost like morally.
The brain powder, right? What's up, Tasteless?
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, it depends how far you want to sell out. Like, I mean, I'm sponsored by Monster. That kind of equates to, like, the gaming lifestyle or, like, the younger generation just because a lot of people drink something like Monster or Red Bull on a semi-regular basis. Even Nathanias' tournament or Destiny's previous tournaments, Ting, is that directly related to esports? Not necessarily. Even EG was sponsored or is still sponsored by T-Mobile. It's more about like what the demographic is in the market, which in general for esports people, it's young, tech-savvy people. So things that relate really well to that is energy drinks, telecommunications, obviously any kind of gaming gear, whether it be like Razer, SteelSeries, etc., Zoe, whatever. And then on top of that, hardware, that all makes sense. Where I would kind of like get like, yeah, weird question marks about is like when you're endorsing like performance enhancing things. Like I know like desRow was mentioning Tasteless very shamelessly promoted brain power pills or something like that.
Supplements,
like something like that. And it was like not like a completely legit company. It was kind of like sketchy, or he was like overselling it to the point where it was like, I mean, I'm a sold out person in a lot of ways, but it was like extreme. This one commercial, it was like basically him just like saying random bullshit, it almost seemed like. So I don't know, it depends person to person, but there's no clear line where you say like this product's okay but this product isn't. As far as I'm concerned, is most things in esports have been okay as far as sponsorship stuff, in my eyes at least.
All right, we have a call in for a strategy question. Let's hear it. He's gonna pick up soon, don't worry. Well,
what's the Skype picture?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, what is it? Been a week or something like that?
Yeah, buddy. What's your
Nice.
question?
I was wondering, PVZ, why don't Protoxes go for more like Templar Storm all-ins, or just like Storm first instead of Colossi, or just like Zealot Archon all-ins in general? I never understood why they pretty much always go Robo.
I'm ready for this.
Yeah,
I got one word for you. Roaches. Roaches are insanely good against everything you just mentioned.
Really?
Roaches take like no damage from Storm almost. Well, I mean they take damage, but it's like they get tickled by Storm, and then it's also not a reliable source. If you have, let's say you have the choice between having 4 Storms, 1 on each High Templar, or you could have 2 Colossus. 2 Colossus are going to collaborate a lot better with force fields in a gateway composition, and will be more sustainable throughout the game than 4 Storms. 4 Storms means like maybe you hit them, maybe you don't. Even if you hit every single Storm against a wave of Roaches with force field, it's not like, what if they have Burrow and they just burrow out of it, and then you turn those 4 High Templars into Archons. And then as far as the Zealot Archon composition, you can just get kited all day against Roaches.
Even if you wouldn't like Charge Lot?
Yeah, Roaches still kite really well against Zealot Archon.
Another
especially
big
on
reason
creep.
is because when you're going for an all-in, obviously you're on the Zerg side of the map, so there's going to be a lot of creep spread. And Storm is really bad offensively in cases like that. I mean, you can kite the Zealots and the Archons with your Roaches, and then if you have a good concave setup and your units are faster on creep, it's going to be really hard to land those money Storms. So that's another reason.
Gotcha. Yo, Kane, one more question. Do you think with the Swarm Host change, what do you think is going to be the new standard for PvZ in general?
I think it'll be tough because late game Protoss can kind of just defend now. I think that we might see something like a few Swarm Hosts, like 4 or 5 Swarm Hosts around the map just harassing, like once it gets to that late game point and trying to pick off production or stuff like that. So I think that the mid game won't change very much, other than the fact that there won't be that turtle Swarm Host strategy anymore. But I think once it gets to late game, it'll be a bit faster paced. I think there'll be more harassment around the map and stuff like that.
Gotcha. All right.
All right, thank you so much for your call, buddy. We'll see you another time.
See you later. Peace.
Have a good week. All right. Guys, let's take a look at how bad or how far you can go when you sell out in esports. I'm gonna put the sound. I'm gonna put the sound. So listen to the stream, guys.
Oh God.
About Alpha Brain through a friend of mine who was really into nutrition, and he said, "Hey man, these are vitamins that are going to help you think. They're going to improve, your focus." I was a little bit skeptical. I thought, what, maybe I'll try it. So I got a bottle, and I was blown away. It just gets me started. I feel great. I feel more alert. I think my mind feels a little bit crisper. I feel like I'm in a line of work that's stressful and requires a high amount of concentration. I'll use caffeine to help me wake up. And energy drinks, they make me feel, they make my stomach feel sick, and caffeine gives me some anxiety. When you take something like Alpha Brain, you feel naturally more alert. It feels good. And these are vitamins and minerals that are good for you. If you want to buy Alpha Brain, go to onit.com. You can type in tasteless and save 10%. Or if you don't want to save 10%, you don't have to. But check it out. It's worth it. I'm more than happy to put my name behind this stuff.
So yeah, I guess to answer the question, that's how far you can go to sell out in esports, guys. Let's take our last final caller, Joe from Esports 7. Let's drag him into the call. Whoops, there you go.
I like this guy.
Oh, what the hell? Yeah, you like him?
Just by his picture?
No, he was like an admin for a tournament, and he actually did really
Hey,
good.
what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, thanks. So I had a question, actually about like professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
We're the
God.
wrong group of people to ask about that. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
Go on.
Oh, sorry, I had the stream on. It was confusing me. Okay, so like I'd say like kind of in StarCraft, there's like a spectrum of professionalism, and you have like kind of maybe day 9 at like one end of it, and then a bunch of people I'm gonna not name at the other end. Major, yeah, sure. There's a lot of people. We all know who they are. But how important do you think it is to be kind of towards that day 9, especially in terms of growth and wanting to get more sponsors? Because I know the community sometimes tends to like toxic people and things that are toxic to sponsors. So like there's kind of a weird balancing act. Like where do you think it's important for like professionalism in terms of growth and that kind of thing?
We had this discussion before on the show, I think or maybe it was another show. I think it was Lycan show actually with Richard Lewis. In my opinion, if you want to make the most money possible and you want to do the best financially and having the best prospects towards your future and being relevant in the industry in a long-term sense, being as PR bland, not bland, but being like never saying anything edgy or ever disagreeing with popular opinion, that's the easiest way. So when you look at someone like Day 9, I'm not saying if he hated me, he would never tweet that he hated me. Or he would never say that. Where someone like Nanawa, for example, or even like myself to some degree,
or
if
Stefano.
I don't like, or Stefano, if we don't like someone, we'll just say this person's a piece of shit, or I don't like this person, and these are the reasons why. And even if Day 9 had those feelings, he would never say that publicly. Even though Day 9
that's not a bad thing, though.
It's not a bad thing, but I'm saying that's what he's asking. That's the difference. And if you want to do the best you can in this industry, or almost any industry or in life in general, that's the way you have to view it. Is the less edgy you are, the further you're gonna get. As far as being edgy, like you said, there are some short-term benefits, and there are certain groups of people that will flock to that. Nanawa definitely has a very strong fan base, and it's a lot because of his personality and how outspoken he is and how edgy he can be on his opinion, as well as being a relevant player. But at the same time, there's a lot of negative effects. The example being, right before he went into his retirement, and he left that game or whatever, you get as much love as you get hate when something goes bad. And you're never, there's no one player that's always going to be at the top. So it's good to like have that personality when you're doing well, or you come back and you ride that wave, but it's never going to last long term. And we see that even now with Nanawa, where he has really good stream viewers, he does pretty well, but he still doesn't have a team. Where if that was someone that was super, super PR friendly, had the same views, had the same results, he would for sure be on a team by now. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, but then again, we need those people that have no filter. Otherwise, it's just not that exciting to be around the scene. Like, we need the fire cakes that are assholes. We need the Kane who like just walk the lines, and
I don't walk the line.
No, you walk the line. You're like. Yeah, but you're never ridiculous, but you're not afraid to poke the bear. That's how I see it.
I think you're definitely in the middle.
Yeah, you walk the line, exactly.
Yeah.
You
Fuck
don't
you,
go,
Kane.
You're not an extreme example. You still voice your opinions, but you don't do it in an extremely offensive way.
Except for when I spit on monitors, apparently.
Yeah.
I never did.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as that came out, you didn't adamantly deny it. You kind of like, still kind of poked fun at Nanawa every now and then. Yeah, exactly. Where if that was like, let's say Day 9 or Apollo or many other examples, they would outright say, I never did that. And I apologize if blank and blank was offended by that. And that would be the end of it,
Yeah.
Did we answer your question?
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you so much for being a Patreon, by the way. Have a good week.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, that concludes the Patreon call-in. If you want to call in, all you have to do is support the show. Check out our Patreon page. There's plenty of perks for you there. A lot of variety. And if there's anything that you would want that's not on the list, you can always tweet at me or HuK to see something added. As long as it doesn't involve, a striptease by HuK or anything too crazy, we'll do it. All right. Going back to the Reddit questions. What do you think will be the first hot topic unit to get buffed, nerfed, or redesigned super hard and Legacy?
The bunker.
Nathanias.
I have to imagine that it'll. I mean, as far as I guess I wanted to dodge this question by like making it about something else, but I realized you did say the hot topic units, so probably some sort of adjustment to the. It's got to be the adept. Like I have like a hard time of seeing how it fits in, but I feel like the adept is going to have a very large impact on. Either it will have to go through many iterations, or it will force a lot of other iterations within currently existing things for Protoss. I feel it's not like a lot of people are looking at like this disruptor as being like this big thing that's going to fuck everything up, or the cyclone or whatever. But I don't think either of those units are going to be as big of a deal, since they're more situational than this new core unit. Because you're gonna see it every fucking game if it's being implemented the way that they're making it seem like it is.
What about you, Chris?
You mean something like the Reaper?
Well, it depends. We don't know enough about it. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like it's going to be like the first thing that gets heavily tweaked. Like, I don't think. I feel like because
the
it's
values
the newest and because
of the
it has
unit.
the most. Yeah, because it has the most far-reaching effect. Like, it's going to be like there's a chance that this unit is something that you are going to open with every single game as Protoss instead of a Stalker or a Zealot or a Sentry. And then there's a chance that it's like, oh, this thing's not useful at all. Well, it needs to be completely redone. And then it's like, well, if this thing is good enough at defending, like, are other values going to be messed with? Like, I feel like it has the most far-reaching impact.
I agree with that. I think it comes down to be honest, how much Blizzard like pre-tested that unit, because it's so much different than anything else, and it changes so much of what Protoss's line of tech would be or the units they choose. So it really depends if they went through like extensive testing of it and were like, oh, this actually can fit in pretty easily just building 1 or 2, or they didn't do that much and they're like, oh, Protoss won a new unit, it's going to be this, let's see what happens. Which both are possible, that, especially because they're considering, or they're making this beta so much longer than any other beta as far as game release goes, which, I mean, makes sense, I guess. They're willing to take that risk. I was going to say something different, but I would actually agree that the Adept would be the unit I would pick. Before Nathanias did his statement, I would say, I was going to say probably the Disruptor, but it was more going to be like values as far as damage and stuff more than anything else. But I think the Adept would make more sense at this point.
Okay. Personally, I think the Cyclone, they seem to have increased the range in the preview video. It seemed like really long. And, you know, if it can kill a Stalker for basically free without much retaliation, like, I don't know. I think that might be a little too strong. Kane, what the hell was going through your mind when you decided to do the Base Trade TV Slippers ad?
Oh, yeah, well, I knew one of the guys from... I actually met him when we were in Korea, and turns out he lives like 2 hours away from me or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted some help with him and his brother have like a company. Mm-hmm. So I told them I'd help them out, and we just filmed that commercial. They bought me dinner.
Oh.
They wine and dined me. Yeah, It was pretty fancy. And then yeah, we came back and shot that commercial in like probably less than an hour or something like that. It was really, really fast. And it was an hour, and it got them some sales and stuff like that. So, and they're really nice slippers. So I got a free pair too. So it benefited both of us. So, and it was fun.
You wear them every day?
Almost every day, I would say. Yeah, like whenever I wake up, get out of bed, I slip my slippers on and start my day.
Nice.
Get a cup of coffee. Yeah.
That's very important. Coffee is life. Could you please talk about... Oh, no, we talked about the Pinnacle. I'm also interested in another topic from the Red Viper on Reddit. You guys talked last week about Winter and the accusation of view-botting. I think it would be more interesting to also talk about Twitch and all of this. I just assume that Twitch should be easily able to detect these bots, and they also should be able to stop them. You think Twitch just doesn't really care? More viewers is a plus as long as the community doesn't really talk about bots. I think it's way more important to talk about bots and Twitch and all of this than to focus solely on the view botters themselves. Nathanias, your thoughts?
So the thing with this is that for any of us to talk about it, it's kind of weird, right? Because at least for you and me, Desi, like Twitch money is something that we rely on,
yes,
to an extent. So, but to really actually be unfiltered about this, there's very few negatives for Twitch when it comes to viewbots, as long as there's not attention being drawn to it on a consistent basis. So, I would go so far as to say that it's not it in the grand scheme of things, I would not be surprised that as long as it's not popping up a lot as far as inquiries from the people they sell ads to or their numbers to go for promotions, then I would doubt that it's at the top of their list of things that they're working on. And I would proffer that the only way that, like, and this might actually sound crazy, but probably the best way to get the bot situation more quickly dealt with or handled is if like whoever was running these bot services or whatever just botted as much as they could non-stop with whatever methods they had. But obviously that ruins their scheme, so then they don't make money off of it. But you would basically have to do so much botting that it was really obvious that it was happening. Otherwise, there's no way to draw enough attention to it to know for sure how well it's being worked on. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't think, like, I don't want to believe, like, I wouldn't say, because, like, I don't know, like, the people I know at Twitch, like, doesn't come across to me that they would, like, intentionally let bots exist to fluff up their numbers because it's not significant enough to draw flack. But it doesn't hurt them for people, for people to think that there's an extra couple, 10, 20, who knows how many streams have even just a couple hundred bots like right now, spread out across the 10,000 partnered streamers that they have. Like, who knows?
What about you, Chris?
I agree with a lot that he said. It comes down to money. If they have more viewers, bots or not, it's better for Twitch, it's better for the streamers, it's better for everybody basically, besides Twitch's competition, aka MLG, Hitbox, and maybe YouTube. But then even, those other sites, they might have bots too. So I agreed almost exactly to what Nathanias said. As long as it's not completely horrendously bad, and we don't have in our chat we have no one talking, but it says we have 1.6K viewers, then it's not a noticeable problem right now. But it just all depends how far it goes. If half of everybody's viewers were bots, then I think it would be pretty noticeable. And sooner or later, the people they sell ads to and the sponsors that pitch ideas at Twitch would eventually find out, and Twitch would lose credibility. But until that point happens, it's not something that's a huge problem for Twitch. Let's say the number of bots is anywhere from the low end 1% compared to actual viewers to 10%, which would be a pretty high number. At the end of the day, unless they're losing credibility, it's not a big issue for them, because it's like you're never gonna stop bots 100%. So it's not like a thing they can just remove and never have it happen.
Yeah. The weirdest thing too, I don't know if you guys noticed from the Blizzard Stream Awards, Winter winning 3rd most active chat over Crip.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I definitely disagree with that. Crip always has a lot more viewers, and his chat's a lot more active.
There must be some other metric at play, like either filtering certain things out, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's not completely transparent, unless Blizzard just hands over whatever information they have and said, "This is what we base it on. This is the numbers we got from Twitch." But here you go. Until that happens, then we don't know why that decision was made. I think it's stupid. I definitely agree that Crip should have beat Winter, and I think his chat is a lot more active than Winter's. But I don't know. Maybe they based it on total.
Hold on.
Because Winter streamed a lot more than Crip. Yeah. But Crip has a way more active stream. So maybe they base it on total, not how much you stream compared to how much chat there was. Because Winter did stream a lot more than Crip, I'd imagine.
What if we put on our tinfoil hat and Blizzard and Twitch decided to give him 3rd place so that to legitimize Winter to stop getting backlash?
No.
I'd be ready.
Blizzard doesn't give a shit about Winter. Twitch doesn't give a shit about Blizzard.
They cleared him through this, saying that
they said they couldn't prove that anything was maliciously done. But if Blizzard was like, man, fuck, Winter's about to get caught, let's do a conspiracy with him and make sure they don't give a fuck, man. They're like a multi-million-dollar company.
No, I mean
Winter's
Twitch and Blizzard would
Twitch
agree.
too.
Yeah.
Twitch doesn't care about Winter.
Yeah, but there's no way the metric used would have to be so stupid to put Winter above Crip.
The problem is that there's no hardcore proof that Winter botted himself, correct? Mm-hmm. Twitch can't lynch Winter. They can't just leave him out to dry, say we're firing this guy, he's banned from our site, he can never stream on Twitch again without solid definitive proof. Because as soon as they ban Winter, they're automatically setting a precedent for every other streamer that gets botted. If you get botted, we're gonna ban you. It doesn't matter if we can prove or not whether you did it or someone else did it to you, but we're going to ban you. So until that point happens, Twitch legally, they're a huge company. They have tons of partners. They can't ban someone on an assumption, even though I think it's a pretty good assumption, and I think he did viewbot himself. Unless they have solid proof, they can't cross that line, because that's setting a precedent for
Yeah, but the blame's on Blizzard and Twitch because they released the stats in 2013, but they didn't release any stats in 2014. Like someone like Protech streamed like 4,000 hours and wasn't even on the top 5 most active streamer. Like there's a lot of
But Protech also said like a lot of weird like racist and homophobic things. So maybe Blizzard didn't have him on the list for that. As far as the stats, I wish they would release the stats because that would make it more transparent, but you know, me wishing for Blizzard to release stats doesn't mean it. But Protech not being on there is, I mean, Blizzard, I want to say, like, within the last few months have been getting mass spam from Protech haters with screenshots of him saying, like, the N-word, the F-word. I'm not talking about fuck either, and many other racial or sexist things.
Mm-hmm. True that.
All right. Anyway, let's move on.
I just want to say one last thing on this subject. I don't know exactly whatever YouTube does, but like anybody, I'm sure you all know since you've all probably put something on YouTube before, as soon as you get over 300 views, like it processes to like prove it somehow. Obviously difficult to do live, but there's got to be, there needs to be some sort of gateway built in after a certain viewer threshold is reached to at least verify, like, you know, because it seems to me that one of the reasons why these bots work so well is that they don't pull any data, which is why you can get so fucking many of them. So it's like there has to be some sort of way to, you know, like track dead clients connecting that are showing you that they're connected, you know. I don't know. I that's something that Twitch needs to do regardless of anything that comes of it. That's all.
Agreed. Very well put. Where is Naniwa or Morrow? Chris.
What we always get bitched at for not having different people on the show, and then when we have new people on the show, people ask where Morrow and Nanawa are. There's no winning.
New people? Didn't I just win the Stream Awards from most people,
old people, whatever.
Yeah, but no, it's very true, man. The cycle never ends, guys. Like I'm planning to do like an all-girls episode. Well, besides me and Chris. What the fuck? Next week. And then people will be like, "Where's Nathanias and Kane?" Fucking kill myself. All right. For HuK, how have you found moving from the EG lair into your own apartment with the mystery esports girlfriend? How has your day today changed?
Is it really a mystery? Do people not know?
It is Kane. It is.
Okay.
It is Kane.
Okay, I'm keeping.
You're like.
He's on that.
I love how you didn't dodge this question, desRow. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. It's been fine. The EG house was like, I want to say the best training environment ever is always going to be the Korean Pro House. The EG house was not that. It was not. It never was that. And I think EG gave up on making it the perception that it was anything close to that. For me, living with a bunch of other young males was more of a burden than a positive effect, just because if I want to make food and I go into the kitchen and like all the pans are dirty or pots, and then I gotta wash them, cook my food, and then wash them again, or someone leaves their laundry in the washer all day and I want to wash clothes because I leave the next day. I don't want to be someone's mother to say, "Hey, can you go get your clothes? Hey, can you do your dishes? Hey, can you whatever?" So it was more, I didn't like that lifestyle. To pretty much, I don't know how else to say it without being insanely rude. So I prefer living with people that I like and I get along with and are responsible. Other than that, the esports girlfriend, I like to keep my private life private. Obviously, people that are closer to me or that I'm friends with know what is what, but publicly it's not something I like to talk about for many reasons I've mentioned in the past. And what was the third question?
The third question was, have you patched things up with Cody?
Yeah, me and Cody are good friends.
Did you eat Idris pork chop?
Okay, so I love you're really screening these questions so well. I never ate Idris pork chop. I'm sure some of you have heard this story.
No, I haven't. What's this thing?
You haven't heard this story?
I swear to God, I swear on my dog.
Not this shit again.
Well, I'll tell you the story next episode. I'll tell the story if I remember.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's assuming you get invited on.
exactly. We'll see. Nathanias might beat me out on it. Yeah, me and Cody are great. We're good friends. I think that's it, right? No other questions?
Do you think Archon mode will help any of you grow as casters to help connect with your viewers? And would you do it? AKA like carry one of the scrubs on your stream in a game.
Yeah, totally. Why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the difference between doing that and playing 2v2 with a viewer?
Well, 1v1's more exciting, man. It's balanced.
Yes.
Sometimes.
The answer is yes.
Nathanias, I'm staring into your soul. I'm scared. All right. Let's see if there's anything worth asking.
Skype chat.
At the beginning of OTS, most community figures were outspoken about OTS being better than Wings of Liberty. I remember Artosis specifically talking about how OTS was superior. Considering the legacy of the beta is on the way, how would you rate Art of the Swarm compared to Wings of Liberty? Please keep in mind Swarmos, Recall, Nexus Cannon, and Widow Mines.
That's a bit of a leading question.
I still think HOTS was way better than Wings of Liberty, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even considering all the problems, I think it was far, far, far better in every single way.
I mean, we worked around all of it. Like, do people still complain about Nexus Cannon? Like, is the Mothership Core really something people whine about? Like, the biggest problem, the only issues that because I think the first player, who was it? Like, it was like it started maybe late 2013 when players like Tasia would do these attacks that could still like cripple a Protoss even if they overcharge. Like, there's so many builds that obviously it's something that you consider, but I don't consider like Photon Overcharge to make the game impossible. Like, obviously I hate it, but it's not. I don't think it's like a game ruining thing. Swarm hosts were probably the biggest impact, but I mean even nowadays when I think about it, I'm like I don't see too many Swarm host games unless it's like players unless it's non-Koreans, right? Yeah, or Terrans that are masochists. But I think I love everything. There's nothing that I look back at Wings and I'm like, man, I miss this, except not being doom dropped in TVT. But that's because I suck. So.
Sorry guys, there's two of my subs resub 26 months in a row. Saving East
Nice.
Coast, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, man. Fucking PVT was the dumbest shit ever in Wings of Liberty. It's like you moved out with your Stalker, and then every other game a fucking Terran would flank you with like 10 Marines across the map and fucking like kill 10 probes, and you'd be like, well, I guess I just lost now. But now you have a beautiful button. It's called Photon Overcharge. You just press F and you click on your Nexus, and then they fuck off into the sunset. And since then, my life has been so much better. Sure, we have to deal with Medevac boost, but at least we don't lose to a gamble early game. That was so fucking horrible. But
yeah, like those 2 racks concussive shell pushes, man. That's fucking stupid. The number of free wins I got off that shit. The days.
All right, Kane. Anything else to add? I don't know if you spoke.
No, nothing to add.
Okay. And Chris, anything else to add? No, you already spoke. The first guy. All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm like, it's all right. I think we're very close to.
I gotta pee.
Yeah, you gotta pee.
Oh my god.
All right, we're gonna call it a day. I don't know if there was any better questions, but
what's wrong, Nathanias?
Are you okay?
Sometimes you just shouldn't. You shouldn't just click every random link you see. You
need
I was just scrolling through Reddit. I need some. I was just scrolling through Reddit. I'm just
Reddit
like
StarCraft. Or?
Was it what the fuck or what?
No. It was what the fuck. I only browse like.
It was what the fuck.
I just like scroll down. I was like maybe 6 or 8 pages deep. And
oh
it
my
was like,
god!
Yeah.
You never go 6 or 8 pages deep, Nathanias. Come on. Gotta know better, man.
I'm sorry.
You pay for your sins.
I'm looking at like submission number 275 right now. So.
Okay. Now I gotta look.
Oh no, it's not. That wasn't the one. I'm just telling you where I am.
Oh, okay.
I immediately closed it after
All
that.
right.
Anyway,
All right, last
totally
question.
didn't mean to derail that.
Yeah, it's okay. Last question before I ditch Twitter entirely. For Kane, why is Baneling drop almost never used anymore? It seems so effective versus mineral lines and such things.
Yeah, the problem is that it's like overlords are really slow, even with a speed upgrade, and they can pull probes. It's also a big investment, like it's 300 gas, 300 minerals, just to get the upgrades. And by that time, it's probably like the mid-game that you're in already, where Protoss will most likely have Blink and a lot of Stalkers to deal with stuff like that. So it's just not really feasible in the metagame right now. Okay. It's still something that you might see on like TLO stream from time to time or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, it's not really used right now.
Why don't Zergs use drop more often, especially versus slow mobility armies?
I mean, in Wings of Liberty and the beginning of Heart of the Swarm, you would see roach drops versus mech a lot. But Overlords are just so slow, man. We don't have like the metaback boost, and it's a really big investment to get there. There's always anti-air out because of mutalisks, or at least a threat of mutalisks. So it's just not really possible to go for Zerg drops at this point in time.
All right, last question. Since HuK's not back and I want to wait for him. I have a question for Nathan. How did you become a commentate for StarCraft 2? Because I'm thinking of become one as well.
You know, I was a big English buff in school, so I'm hoping that you didn't. I'm hoping you paraphrased that one and that you didn't read it literally. But if you did, I'll assume that the guy was taking a dump and only had one hand available or something. I don't know. I mean, I got a little bit lucky, right? Like I just casted shit, man. Like it wasn't really complicated because I already played the game a lot and I streamed a lot and I worked in stuff that involved a lot of public speaking prior to getting into streaming StarCraft, right? So for me, I was kind of already working on the skill sets that I needed, like being able to enunciate or spell, for example. So,
oh, shots fired.
Wow.
I'm just fucking with you. Anyway, I don't know, just start casting shit. You can get pretty good players to play in a show match for cheap as long as you can prove to them that you'll pay them. Like, just do shit, and if you can do it well, that's on you, man. Like, get a good quality stream, be entertaining, be funny. If you can't do that, I don't know. That's like the whole thing about it. So, yeah, be persistent. Be very, very persistent. The last person I gave that advice to was a guy who messaged me in 2012 December under the username ZL Freebird, and he was one persistent son of a bitch. I'll tell you that.
Where is he now?
That's Winter Gaming. That was his old Twitch name.
Oh God.
I got a lot of messages from that guy.
Well,
I don't know if that's a good answer, but really it's just about being persistent and make opportunities for yourself. Okay? That's the thing that I got most known for, like the number one thing that put me above other people that like wanted to be casters was the opportunity that I seized in recognizing that the community, or at least some people, at least 1,000 average people, wanted an alternative commentary source for Pro League. Like that was like my in. But nobody asked me to do it. I was just like, fuck it, let's see what happens. And then those are always the moments where you win big or you don't win at all. But asking for help especially is rarely going to give you the answers that you want.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes SC2Remax episode 33. HuK came back at the last minute with an empty bladder. Thank God. By the way, guys, you can support the show by typing !Patreon in chat. HuK, could you stand up right now, please?
This is getting weird now.
Open your jacket.
Someone wants to know if you're wearing pants.
Open your jacket.
I got new pants. Are we doing this? Are we doing this? can't look away. Oh my god.
Oh, all right. So big thanks to our Patreon supporter for being our supply depots. We have Knifeolio, Lucid, and Zelazan. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, let's start with the shoutouts. Kane, where can we find you next? Are you going to be streaming? Oh, actually, when are you leaving?
I'm leaving in 2 days, so you won't hear anything from me for like a week. And then I don't know if I'll be able to go to WCS yet. I hope so. Depends how ESL books my flights, or if they book my flights. So yeah. Well, you'll hear from me on Twitter maybe eventually sometime if I'm alive. So.
Okay. Thank you for the update. What about you, Nathanias?
I am. Oh, we're finishing up the bracket stage for Fragbite tomorrow. The finals for Fragbite are going to be played out on the 11th and 12th of April. Outside of that, this weekend, the 27th, 28th, and 29th, after Gfinity is over, you'll be able to tune into the 2v2 Ting Cup, where you can watch pro gamers who think that they know how to play StarCraft better than 2v2 scrubs lose to them in stellar fashion. I'm hoping for a massive upset because it will create more hype around my tournament for my sponsor, #Unfiltered. Outside of that, I'll be in France from April 2nd to April 6th for WCS season finals. So I'm really, really excited for that. So, yeah. And for any Americans, my streaming schedule will return to normal on April 13th. Well, 14th, after I get back to America.
Awesome. What about you, Chris? What are you up next besides picking up a striptease career or stripper career or gigolo career, whichever?
Are you done?
It was in my head, but it didn't come out at all.
Just streaming a lot, like you said, did the commentary stream that people always seem to enjoy a lot.
Even
Other
me.
than that, huh?
Even me.
Yeah, I said you.
Oh, nice.
That you said.
Oh, nice.
Make this more awkward. Excited for Legacy of the Void. Other than that, I just play like a lot of online tournaments. I'm going to be playing in that IR Chef thing soon. I think, what happens? Can I pick you, Kane?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can pick who you want.
And then I play a best of 7 versus them?
No. I should probably know the format for this.
Okay, so Kane doesn't know, but I'm playing that thing that he may or may not be picked in, even if I win or lose.
I know I can be picked, I just don't know how the format works.
Okay. Well, I'm playing in that. Other than that, I'm just streaming and practicing the grind life. That's it.
All right. So personally for me, I'll be doing my weekly tournament on Saturday, sometimes after Nathanias thing tournament, hopefully not overlapping with him. But no, big thanks to everyone that came on the show in the last year. You know, we really wanted third place. Our first place. we ended up getting third place. But yeah, Nathanias, Kane, Morrow, Rifkin for coming on the show always so often. You know, sometimes it's really hard to motivate pro gamers, so especially for Kane and Morrow to be dedicated. And then I guess Rifkin and Nathanias is sort of their job, but you know, they still do it without real compensation. So for them to help build up the show and give you guys something to listen, give you guys something to be a part of is really awesome. Big thanks to HuK also for you know, being my co-host and not being too what's the snappy these days. He's been a good boy, believe it or not. Yeah, he's turned on a new leaf.
If you call him good boy, then he might not be so nice to you anymore.
Oh, well, I mean, like, he's been snappy with others instead of me, so I'll take that, man.
Me? Yeah. Are you talking about me right now? I'm like totally doing something else.
It's okay, it's okay. Anyway, guys, the VODs will be up soon. The highlight will be on Thursday. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next week. And stick around after the ads. I'll be hosting Base Trade. They're doing their Irish Chef tournament. So thank you again, and see you guys later.
What did you say?